Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie, Vintage Freak 32, and we have some more Halloween painting. I've got 3 projects for you. Here we go with the first one. Okay, so we have this owl. It's made of resin. It is from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to paint him. He's covered in glitter. I hate the glitter, and we're just going to paint right over the glitter. I didn't even bother trying to take it off. I'm actually going to use that texture to my advantage, and it's going to give texture to the body of the owl. So we are just taking basic acrylic paint right on over this, and I'm going to get a thin coat evenly on it, and I like to paint just the whole thing and have a blank canvas. But the important part is that it is thin. So I'm going to paint the entire thing top to bottom. So I have these inspiration pictures, and this is the basis, specifically the one on the right. These are vintage die cuts from the 40s, and this is my inspiration on how I want to paint this owl, including the colors as well. So first, we are going to start out with these big old owl eyes. So I'm using the green, orange, whites, and blacks on this owl. And there's a lot of texture, aside from the glitter, there's a lot of detail on the owl that was just had paint like splashed in a half a millisecond, in a mass production factory. So I am giving this owl the makeover it deserves. But there's a lot of texture on this in not just the glitter, as I went off on a tangent on, but there's like a cross stitch or a paisley pattern over the chest of the owl, and then the feathers are on the back side. The eyes themselves that I'm painting, which again, these are all acrylic paints that I'm using, and the eyes have a lot of texture too. There's striping to them. There's rings to them. I kind of failed to get you a close up on that, but I'm trying to bring out those details with each color block of my painting. So now that I have added a second coat to the eyes, I'm going to do the third ring there outside of the eyeball. So there is this striping, which is hard to tell. There's this striping, and so I'm going to take the 3 colors there and alternate them. And right here you can kind of see that paisley, or not paisley, but that diamond print on the chest of the owl, and I'm going to bring that out as well. So I'm just trying to outline all of the fun details. So you'll see the orange, green, and white will be alternating around the eyes. And then I did run into an issue filming all 3 of these projects. And you'll see that all of a sudden my outlines will be done on the owl because I ran out of storage on my phone recording. And that was my bad. And so I lost footage basically. There are parts where I lost footage. So if we all of a sudden jump to there's a bit more done, I didn't intend to do that, but so I apologize. So once I get both of these eyes done, I let them dry completely, and then see, there you go. So I painted the nose and the feet, and I added all of the black outlining to the eyes, and then I put the little nose holes on the beak, and added some highlight shadows on the feet as well. So now I'm going in with my favorite little fine brushes and giving the fur or the feathers, I should say. So I'm gonna go in with the orange first, And then I'm going to come back through and kind of give it some highlight and variance with white so that we're kind of carrying the colors all throughout. And I'm going back and forth to my reference pictures of those die cut owls to see how, they color blocked and added. Use the color, just three simple colors to make something, the color blocking and just the way they all fit together. Really, I love it so much. That MCM kitsch Halloween, I love it. So now I'm just outlining kind of the face of the owl because, again, we're trying to build on the painting and we want to bring out all of the features, or I'm trying to bring out as many of the features that were in this mold, because it is actually a great mold. It just had a terrible paint job. But that's what happens when you get stuff from Dollar Tree. Okay, so here I took the same green paint and went over, outlined the striping or the diamonds, and then I'm just adding a white highlight inside of each of those diamonds to add layers and give contrast. And this is the overall look. I'm going to also now paint the hat the same green. And then I'm adding just some extra white highlights. Again, all of this, it doesn't have to happen, but I just feel like it gives a good contrast and it really highlights. It doesn't look flat is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to paint the hat. I already painted it with 2 coats of the green. Let that dry, and now I'm going back in and we're painting the buckle, and I'm gonna do the stripe that swirls around the hat in black. And then when I'm done with that, we are going to take Rustoleum's clear matte. It's the 2 times clear matte. I will have a link of it in the description below, along with paints and tools that I use. You can always find in the description box. So I will take that outside and spray it. I like to get the 2 times because you don't have to do 2 coats. It goes on very evenly, and dries in minutes. It's very fast drying, especially here in Southern California where it's 100 degrees outside. But you really want to make sure that you seal your acrylic paints. Otherwise they will peel off or wash off if you go to wipe them or dust your figurines or whatever you're painting. If you try to wipe it, especially with a damp cloth or anything, it's water-based paint, so it will start to come off. So you really have to seal it. And you don't want to do all that hard work of painting, because for me at least these take a while. I like to be pretty detailed, and so sealing it in is just that insurance that your item is going to be preserved. So now I have this black cat, also from Dollar Tree. All 3 items today are from the Dollar Tree. He's made of cement. This is how I found him at the Dollar Tree. I had painted one of these before, and it was a hit. So I got all the ones my Dollar Tree had, and I have 4 of these to repaint. So first I started by pulling off that chiffon collar on this cat, and we are going to do the same thing as the owl and just give a blank canvas and completely cover the entire cat in black acrylic paint, and then we're going to let that dry completely before we move on. So we're going to do the kind of the same concept as the owl. We're going to have 3 colors that are going to help kind of work with each other and highlight and give this MCM kind of kitsch 1950s vintage Halloween look, which these already have going for them. I think a lot of retailers are jumping on that vintage reproduction bandwagon, and it's benefiting them. So we're seeing it even in the Dollar Tree, which I don't mind. I don't mind that. This is easier for me than having to like make my own figure out of clay or what have you. which props to people who do, because my gosh, that takes some talent. I'm just happy to repaint things. So I'm going in with orange is going to be the base, and we're going to build on each brush stroke. So I'm only going to show you this first layer of the orange brush strokes, because after that, all of the strokes are the same in the same areas, just with different colors. And I don't want to bore you with the same thing over and over again either. So I've already outlined what was already there above the nose and around the mouth. And now I'm adding that underline and some more smaller brush strokes at the corner of the eyes to kind of give the illusion of whiskers and fur on the cat. And I'm going to copy those, go along the same exact brush strokes with white and neon green. The other cat that I did was red and orange and white, which was more of a kind of classic, but I really like, and there it is. So I really like how the green showed up, or like played with the orange and the white here. So I thought the first cat I made was my favorite, but I think this is my favorite. I'll try to insert a picture of the first cat here. And yeah, so now I'm painting the eyes, and we're also going to go in with my dotting tools, like one of my favorite things to use, and add those like pores, or, where the whiskers would be popping out of, and kind of a freckly look. I just think it adds character and kind of brightens up the face more. And I'm alternating around different spots where I paint one, I let that dry, so I'll paint something else on the face or the figure. And then I'm going to add a second coat to the hat, and then we're going to move on to the pumpkin at the bottom of this kitty cat. So I was originally going to paint the pumpkin orange, and I changed my mind and I decided to leave it black because I wanted to use more of the green and bring the green down to the pumpkin to highlight the face. So I leave the pumpkin black, but the neon green, you can kind of see it here. When you just put it right over the black, it's hard to see. And on the face, I had to do a few coats of that same green over to get it to really pop off the black. So I'm going through with white first on the jack-o'-lantern down here, and then I will come back through with the neon green, and that made it a world of difference because it's obviously these neon colors are going to pop, which I wasn't thinking about the first time when I was painting the face, that it'll pop much better and I won't have to do so many coats. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder here. Cause like I said, these take time for me. This video is on 2x speed. So I'm painting pretty slow, cause even here it looks slow to me. But it's really even slower cause this is double time. So after finishing up the jack-o'-lantern, I added some more highlights around the eyes to kind of give the same effect of the eyes on the cat, of the face of the cat, I should say. And now after I sprayed him with Rustoleum like I did with the owl, And while he dries, we're going to make a bow. So this ribbon came from the Dollar Tree as well. And the chenille that I have from Michael's or Joann's, one of the two. So I'm just going to pinch the ribbon in the middle to give that bow and wrap the chenille around, or pipe cleaner around the bow. And then I kind of curled off the ends of the chenille. And we are just going to hot glue our bow right onto him, and it just kind of brings everything all together. It's that extra little flair this kitty cat needed. And just make sure to remember to spray and seal your paint before you put this bow on, because you're gonna get a crusty bow otherwise. And if you guys like what you're seeing here, please remember to like and subscribe so you get all of the crafting videos and notifications when they go up. So here we are with our last DIY. This is the Dollar Tree had a cat, a witch, and a ghost sitting in the pumpkin. So I have made over the witch as well, off camera. And if you've made it this far, hi. Thanks for hanging out and coming along this far. A lot of my items are listed on my Etsy store. So if you are looking to purchase any of these items, they are up on my Etsy store right now, and the link is also in the description box below. So with the ghost, I'm going to be doing that same kind of style, that kitsch style. So I had already painted over his whole face with a white acrylic paint as well as the pumpkin base. And then I'm going in with that fine brush. I also added, I penciled in the mouth. It was just kind of that wavy line for a mouth. And I kind of wanted him to be like a singing or screaming ghost. So I penciled in an open mouth. But because the squiggle of the upper lip, I guess you would call it, is in, it's carved into the figure. I had to include that because it kind of just looks weird, just painted white. So I tried to make it work. I think it worked. You guys can let me know what you think. And I'm just going in finely with my fine brush and creating these ghosty eyes. And I'm going to use the neon green again as my highlight. I kind of kept him a little bit more simple because he's a ghost. So, there's not too much detail to put on them. And all I could have gone overboard, I tried to consciously restrain myself. So now you can see I added some eyebrows and a little, the little accents under his eyes, and I gave him a couple little green freckles. And then I will do the same thing on the pumpkin base because it was looking pretty plain with just the two triangle buttons. So I go in with my dotting tool with black acrylic paint, and I do these dots down each section of the pumpkin. And I think it really did kind of give it that kitsch, vintage aesthetic look to this one. So I took another chenille, and I just wrapped it around the neck and curled off the ends again. I didn't even hot glue this in place. And of course I did this after I also sprayed him with Rustoleum. So here are our trio. I also painted these salt and pepper shakers that were also from the Dollar Tree. Those have already sold, but I do have a video tutorial on how I painted those as well. So I will put that in the description as well. But I really love how these turned out. You guys let me know what you think. They look so cute together. But again, everything's available in my Etsy shop. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.